Hey y'all, welcome back to Plant and Plate with Mr. Chris. Today I'm going to be sharing a really special recipe for me. This is my grandmother's skillet cornbread. This is the way she made it. It's an old-fashioned recipe, and cornbread in the South was one of those things when you had dinner, especially at my grandmother's house, you were either going to have rolls or you're going to have cornbread. And if you had cornbread, this is how she made it. So I'm going to share it with you today. Let's get to making it. First thing you want to do is go ahead and preheat your oven to 450 degrees. We're going to take a fourth cup of lard. Yep, lard. Told you this is the way we made it 100 years ago. We're going to put that in the skillet that we're going to make our cornbread in. We're going to set that on the stove, put it on like a medium heat. You just want this to break down and turn into a liquid. So I'm going to set this on the stove, let that start melting. We'll start putting our dry ingredients together. So we're going to take and combine all of our dry ingredients together first, and then we're going to put our wet ingredients in with that. The first thing we're going to put is 1 cup of yellow cornmeal. We've got a ½ cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to dump that in. We've got a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of baking powder. Once we get that in there, we're just going to take a fork and just kind of mix it together to get it all broke up and consistent with a consistent dry ingredient mixture. Ain't got to be crazy, just get it all worked together a little bit. We're going to set that to the side. Now we're going to work on our wet ingredients. We're going to start off with a cup of buttermilk. Then we're going to add a ½ cup of whole milk. We're going to put in 1 whole egg. Then we're going to take that same fork, break up the egg, mix that together. Now this is Southern cornbread. If you'll notice, I haven't put any sugar in this. We typically don't put sugar in our cornbread. Some people like it, but here in the South, sugar's saved for sweet tea. It don't go in cornbread. Leave me a comment though. Let me know how you like it. After we get that done, we're going to add a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Mix that in a little bit. Now we're going to pour the milk mixture into the dry ingredients and just stir it with the fork until we get that combined. You know, in the South, back when my grandmother was making this cornbread was one of those things, most people didn't have a whole lot of money. It doesn't take a whole lot to make it. So they would have it at the meals as kind of a side and just something to feed you, you know, something cheap, inexpensive, and to kind of help fill you up. But this is some of the best cornbread I've had, and every time I fix it, it reminds me of those days at the dinner table with my grandmother. So we're going to mix that up. It ain't got to be really smooth. Just make sure all of the dry ingredients are blended in and everything's a good mixture. Okay, that lard that we put on the stove, now we're going to slowly start pouring that into our batter till we can get all that combined. I'm going to work on making this a consistent mixture. I'll show you what we got when we're done, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're over here at our skillet. We're going to take 2 tablespoons of lard. Yep, more lard. We're going to put that into our skillet. Let that start melting. Now I would suggest, if you have access to a cast iron skillet, that's what you use. There's just something about the cast iron skillet that really makes that crust turn crisp and brown. So, and I like cast iron skillets, but it still makes really good cornbread. So this is the consistency of your mixture after you put the lard, the first batch of lard, into it. And you want this lard to get good and hot. When we pour this batter into this skillet, it ought to begin to sizzle. That's going to make the crust on the top of our cornbread all nice, brown, crispy. We're going to start it off here. Then we're going to put it in the stove or the oven. We're on the stove. Time to add our batter to the skillet. Hopefully you can hear it sizzling as it hits that oil in the skillet. Alright, now we got all of our batter in there. We're going to put it in the oven. Start on about 15 minutes and check it. We want to get to where the centers, you can put a toothpick in and it comes out clean. So let's put this thing in the oven. Alright y'all, we're going to let that bake. I'll be back, show you what we got when we're done. Okay, mine was in the oven exactly 15 minutes. I just took it out. Go and check it. The toothpick's clean. That way we know we're done. It's cooked inside. Look at that golden brown on it. Now, when I get mine out and it's still nice and hot, I just take some butter and we're going to move that around. Just kind of let that melt on the bread. Now, I'm going to let that kind of cool. Let this butter finish melting down into it before I flip it over and lose all that. And I'll be right back and let you see what the top of it looks like. We'll take a slice of this thing and see how it tastes. See y'all in a minute. Okay, y'all, got the cornbread turned out of the skillet. Again, we're going to take just a little butter. Let that kind of melt around on the top while it's still good and warm. Just kind of let that set. Now it's time to take a taste test of this. Now when I was a kid, this thing would come out of Grandma's oven and I'd be on it. She'd have to fuss at me because if she didn't pay attention, I'd be out here getting this before dinner. So look at that. It's all nice and fluffy, not dried out, really moist, pretty yellow cornbread. Okay y'all, it's time for that taste test. I've been looking forward to this all day. That's so good. It just brings back memories of Grandma, being on Grandma and Grandpa's farm, and just the times we had around the dinner table talking and being together as a family. This is killer cornbread. You ought to make this for your family one night next time you make, I don't know, like a big old bowl of chili or some taco soup or something like that, and sit this out there for them. Now, normally what I would have done back when I was younger, I'd slice that thing in half and layered a little more butter on top of it and took a bite of it, but this is really good. First time I made this cornbread for my father-in-law, he took a bite of it and said this is the best cornbread he's ever ate. He actually then went on to say that I should open up a restaurant, which I don't know about that, but that I could make a living off of the cornbread and the mac and cheese I make. So I don't, hey, give it a try. If you do decide to make this cornbread, leave me a comment. Let me know how it turned out for you, what you think. Let me know if you're sugar in your cornbread or not kind of person. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more from Plant and Plate, hit that subscribe button. We do a video every week. Hit that bell so you know, hey, Mr. Chris done put something else out there. I need to go watch it. Hey, thanks for watching. Till next time. God bless.